Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys have been enjoying all the recipes and the workouts that I've been posting. And today I have a really simple, quick recipe for you guys. We're going to be making a purple yam or an ube granola. So this can easily be just like a sweet potato or a pumpkin granola. Lots of variations are available, so don't worry. You don't have to get these purple yams. If you can't find them, you can just use other squash or root vegetables or roots. So yeah, let's get started. First things first, we're going to get our dry ingredients in a bowl, our wet ingredients in a separate bowl, and then we're going to add the wet to the dry. Another important thing that you want to do before you start your recipe is get your oven preheating to 170 degrees, and let's get going. So first thing I'm going to do now is add my oats to my big mixing bowl. So this is the bowl in which we're going to add all our dry ingredients, because eventually we'll be adding the wet to this bowl. So we're going to add about 3 cups of oats. And don't worry, this is a beginner to all level recipe. So a little bit of up and down measurements is totally fine. The main thing you want to try and get to is the consistency of your granola once your ingredients are all of them are completely combined. Let's continue. 3 cups of oats are in here. Alright, next up I'm going to add some pistachios and cashews. So 1.5 cups in total. So you can use any nuts of your choice. These are just the ones that I have at home and I like. But you can use walnuts or pecans, anything that you want to work with or want to eat essentially. And also just try to be thoughtful and mindful about all the flavors that we're combining in today. So of course variations are for you to take, but also then be conscious of what flavors might go with, say, sweet potato or pumpkin or butternut squash, whatever puree you choose to work with today. Alright, so let's continue. 1.5 cups of nuts of your choice. So I'm going to go for half and half here. Next we're going to add 3 tablespoons of sugar. And I'm using cane sugar today, but you can use coconut or date sugar, or even powdered jaggery will work. So any kind of dry sweetener really is what you're going for. And just 3 tablespoons. We'll also be adding maple syrup in this, so you're going to get a good amount of sweetness from both the things. Alright, next we're adding 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm using pink salt here, but it really doesn't matter. Table salt will also work, or sea salt, any kind of salt works. And then our last dry ingredient today is going to be 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. So if you want to skip the spice, you can, and you can just kind of make it whatever flavor the rest of your ingredients are. But if you want to bump it up a notch, you can add a little bit of cinnamon. Alright, so I'm just going to take a spoon now and combine everything. So as you can see, there's no rising agent in this recipe because there's no need for one. And yeah, so this is technically a completely baking soda, baking powder free recipe. And a lot of people have bad reactions to baked goods, in the sense that goods that have baking soda or baking powder in them. So this is a great recipe for those people. It'll be something nice and warm and toasted without having any of those rising agents or chemicals in them. Alright, now let's start combining our wet ingredients together. Alright, so here I have my pureed purple yam. So what I have done here, and full disclaimer, is that I've added just a little bit of natural beetroot juice to bump up the color, but this is how the yam is when it's just steamed and cooked. So what I did to the yam is simply cube it and let it cool down completely, and then I took about 1.5 of the total quantity that I had. So I had about 4 pre-cooked. I basically put them in a pressure cooker. So yeah, I basically put them in a pressure cooker and cooked them. So I just took about 1.5 of those cubed, that would add up to a whole 1.5 yams, and I just pureed it with just a little bit of almond milk. So if you are using it the same way that you're making your yams ready, like cooking your yams off, you might not even need that little bit of almond milk. But if you feel like it's not getting pureed thoroughly, then just use a tablespoon or 2 of almond milk to just help with the blending, pureeing process. And let's start now measuring out our wet ingredients. Alright, so we're going to take about half a cup of this purple yam, and you can see that I have color coordinated with my fancy ingredient today. I'm going to admit it, I was pretty excited about using this, so yeah, just an extra little touch to make your viewing experience more pleasurable, guys. Alright, so half a cup of the purple yam puree. If it's a little warm at this stage, don't worry, that's totally fine. We're anyway going to be cooking the granola, so it doesn't really matter. In fact, it might even help with bringing your wet ingredients together. So no harm. And just to be safe, I put all my wet ingredients in a microwave safe bowl. So in case it's cold where you are, you can always just pop it in a microwave and warm it up, so to help all the ingredients combine together nicely. Alright, next up we're going to add 1/3 cup of any liquid sweetener of your choice. I'm going to be adding liquid jaggery, but you can add maple or brown sugar syrup, any brown rice sugar syrup. Any of these options are for you to take. You can also of course use honey if you're not vegan. So any liquid sweetener of your choice, add about 1/3 cup of that in your wet ingredients. Alright, next we're adding about 1/4 cup of coconut oil. You can also use avocado or olive. Coconut oil in India is really good quality and it's super easily available, so I prefer using that, and I also really like the taste of coconut, so I don't mind it at all. And I also believe in using local produce and local ingredients that are available. So use whatever you have on hand and whatever ingredients you're used to using. You don't have to use the exact ones that I have. Alright, and now we're just going to whisk this together. And while I'm doing this, I'm just going to go over the other options you can take in place of the purple yam. So as I mentioned earlier, you could swap this with butternut squash, with pumpkin. If you want to do the same thing, cook it off and puree it, taking the skins off of course, and you'll use it in the same exact quantities, no changes. You could also use mashed banana or apple puree, so you just take the skin off and puree the fruit. So those two options can also be used in place of a squash, but just be mindful that every ingredient swap that you do is going to affect the change of flavor as the end result with your granola as well, which I'm sure you guys are aware of. Alright, so this is thoroughly combined, and now we're just going to add this straight in to our granola bowl. But before we do that, let's also prep our baking tray. So all I'm going to do is spray this with some oil. And that's it. I'm not going to line this with baking paper just because when you're scraping it off later, it's a lot easier without that baking paper on there. Alright, so let's combine our ingredients now. So I'm going to use the same spoon and I'm just going to pour out alright, and let's combine it together. Alright, so I'm just using my spoon. You can also use a spatula if you like to combine everything. And it has that really nice purple hue to it. And it might seem like you don't have enough liquid ingredients in there, but trust me, as you keep mixing, it's going to distribute nicely. So just get a little workout in there and continue combining. Make sure you're scraping from the bottom all the way to the top because that's where all the dry bits are. So you want to get it all evenly combined. Right, so we're going to go ahead and add about 1/4 cup of raisins in here. Again, just combine everything, spread it out. Alright. So let's just pour the granola out onto our baking tray. Alright, perfect. So this is ready to go into the oven now for 20 minutes. At the halfway 10-minute mark, if you don't want your granola to be super clumpy, you can just take a spatula, wooden spatula or any kind of long spoon so you don't burn your hands. You can just pull the tray out, mix everything around and then pop the tray back in. This will just prevent the clumps from forming super tight and kind of break them apart. I personally like my granola clumpy, so I'm not going to be breaking them apart at halfway. I'm going to leave it in for 20 minutes. Alright, let's go ahead and put it in the oven. Alright, so the granola has been baking now for 20 minutes and we're going to take it out of the oven and let it cool down completely. Here we go. So it's basically ready now. You just want to make sure that you let it cool down completely before you pack it in a glass jar that's sterilized, or you can just eat it straight. And yes, please make sure that you let it cool down completely. If you don't let it cool down, it'll kind of stay soggy, and that's not because you haven't baked it completely. It's only because you didn't let it cool down. So make sure that you let it get to room temperature. A little colder even is fine. You can pop it in the fridge for 5 minutes to let the temperature come down faster if you want to. But let the granola take its time. And yeah, I hope you guys like the recipe. I hope you guys make it. It's a super quick recipe, 30 minutes tops to put everything together. You can easily swap out ingredients for what you have at home. If you have any questions about options that you could take or alternatives that you could use in place of the ingredients I have used today, feel free to drop in a comment, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and I hope you guys had fun today.